We all know the sudden, violent jolt of waking from a terrifying nightmare. Your chest heaves, your hands shake, and for a few seconds the shadow in the corner feels dangerously real. Daniel Reed is a man defined by tangible reality. As a Seattle architect, his world is built on blueprints, geometry, and measurements. He constructs structures that strictly obey the laws of physics. Yet at exactly 3:17 in the morning, he whispers a name he has never heard before: Eleanor. Daniel and his wife have no children, but night after night the visions stack up. A 7-year-old girl, a decaying blue house, and a freezing lighthouse. A mind trained to calculate physical space has no defense against hyper-specific recurring data. Daniel tries to blame stress or a lack of sleep, but the details in his head are too rigid to be dismissed. They don't fade in the morning light. They behave like documented memories. Driven to break the cycle, Daniel turns to the only tool that makes sense: research. He spends hours scouring online databases and archival records for the name Eleanor Hayes. He finds her, a cold case from 39 years ago. The photograph shows the exact girl from his dreams, wearing the same white coat. The article lays out a grim timeline. During a storm in 1987, Eleanor vanished near the Black Harbor Lighthouse. Her father, Thomas Hayes, disappeared that same night. The police concluded he had driven her into the ocean and quickly closed the file. Knowing these facts brings a new kind of terror. Daniel has no biological or geographical connection to Oregon, yet he immediately leaves his life in Seattle, driving south into the coastal fog. This is the moment a psychological crisis crystallizes into a physical reality. Daniel is no longer an architect trying to clear his head. He is a man compelled to reclaim a life that isn't officially his. Pulling into Black Harbor, Daniel realizes he doesn't need a map. He knows the diner's turn, the path to the old church, and the narrow cliffside road leading to the blue house from his dreams. While staring at the property, he is spotted by Ruth, an elderly neighbor, who drops her watering can in shock. She doesn't see a stranger. She looks at his jawline, his eyes, and the specific scar near his eyebrow, and addresses him as Thomas Hayes. Ruth reveals a detail the police missed. Thomas had an identical twin brother named Samuel. Samuel was obsessed with the occult and rituals that allegedly allowed human consciousness to survive death. Samuel believed that death was a porous border. He studied ancient rituals designed to tether a soul to a specific person or location, convinced he could bypass mortality entirely. Samuel's return provides a horrifying logic to Daniel's experiences. The dreams weren't a random haunting, but a reaction, a dormant part of his own history waking up the moment Samuel stepped back into the world. Guided by instinct, Daniel walks onto the porch of the blue house, finds a hidden key, and steps inside. Under a cracked floorboard in Eleanor's childhood bedroom, he uncovers a small metal box. Inside is a cassette tape left behind by Thomas on the night he died, a final line of defense against his brother's obsession. When Daniel pushes play, he hears his own voice. The pitch, the cadence, the specific pauses, it is an identical match to his own vocal cords. Thomas's recording confirms a deeper intent. He promised that if Eleanor ever remembered him, he would return to shield her. He anchored his own memory to her safety, waiting for the exact moment she was in danger again. The past and present converge at the Black Harbor Lighthouse. Daniel climbs the stairs and finds a man in a gray coat waiting at the cliff edge. The man has Daniel's exact face, but his eyes are colder. Samuel has arrived. The sky breaks open above them, the ocean violent against the black stone, recreating the weather from that night in 1987. At the cliff's edge, the architect's logic vanishes. Daniel fights with the raw desperation of a man who has finally reclaimed his daughter and refuses to lose her to the same killer a second time. Samuel loses his footing against the weight of a man who refuses to lose his child twice. He slips, and the crashing ocean swallows him, ending a cycle of jealousy that lasted nearly 4 decades. Samuel spent his life mastering rituals to fuel his hatred, but Thomas's mechanism was simpler and far stronger. Love proved to be a more resilient anchor for the human soul. In the sudden quiet, Eleanor appears on the cliff one last time. She is no longer a ghost or a nightmare. She is a peaceful child who thanks her father for keeping his promise before fading away. 6 months later, Daniel has returned to Seattle. The night sweats and the cold fear have vanished. He is at peace with the dual identity he discovered on that cliff. One morning, Megan places his coffee in front of him and shares a discovery of her own. They are having a daughter. Daniel smiles, and without hesitation, he chooses the name Eleanor. This is the true nature of their survival. Samuel tried to weaponize reincarnation to haunt the living, but Thomas used those same rules to heal. In this new life, his daughter can finally grow up without a shadow.